And I came to the floor to urge members to vote against this ill-advised resolution to disallow the President's declaration for an emergency funding on the border. Look, in 2006, I was in Congress. Congress voted for the Secure Fence Act. Secure Fence Act, under President Bush, 400 miles of border fence was built. Under President Obama, an additional little over 100 miles was built. And now the President Trump has asked for a little over 200 miles to be built to provide security for America. Now, is it a national emergency? I will tell you, I had as my guest to the State of the Union someone who is referred to as an angel dad. This is an individual who went and put on the uniform, fought for his country in Iraq. While he was there, unfortunately, his wife got ill and died. He came home, and now he's a single dad. And he's taking care of his only child, daughter. And that daughter, unfortunately, was hit on the street by a car who was driven by someone who did not have legal status to be in this country. So several months later, Chris comes to me and he said, "Congressman, I did my job. I put on the uniform. I went and defended my country. Mr. Congressman, I did my job. And if you had been doing yours, my daughter would be here today." President Trump has taken that mantle very seriously. It is his goal, it is his requirement to defend our country at the southern border, and the President will do just that. If you read the history of emergency declarations in the past, you will find a number of them. Some perhaps you might agree with, some perhaps you might disagree with, but since the founding of our country, it has been recognized, it is in the purview under Article 2 powers for the President of the United States to be able to exercise that emergency declaration. It was codified in the 1970s in a law that is now the one that brings this forward today, brings forward this resolution of disapproval. If you don't like the law that allows the President to declare an emergency, change the law. You're the majority. You control the Rules Committee. Change the law. And what's interesting about this is last time the Rules Committee, when we considered Mr. Castro's resolution, we didn't consider it. We didn't have a single witness. Mr. Castro was non-vis. He was unable. I felt like sending Capitol Police out to find him. There was no one there to testify in favor of his resolution. And the Rules Committee seemed perfectly agreeable to accepting this without any debate whatsoever. So I urge members to vote against this ill-advised motion to disallow the President's declaration of an emergency, allow the President to do the job he was elected to do, and secure the southern border. I yield back.